My friends, you bow to no one. We are rolling right along with our Bruce Willis charity movie-thon. All proceeds are going directly to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration, and if you haven't seen the previous videos this month, go check those out. But we are honoring the incredible career of Bruce Willis, who was diagnosed with FTD earlier this year. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that the man is one of the biggest badasses of Hollywood and was the badass throughout all of the 80s and most of the 90s. So please donate using the link on the page. All donations help those who are dealing with dementia and their families, as well as providing funds towards researching a cure for this terrible disease. So let's take our love of action movies and help make people's lives a bit easier. If you can't donate, you can subscribe to the channel. I will personally be donating for every new subscriber earned in December. And that's just a super easy way to help out. Okay, number 6 on my list could have easily been higher up. It's not only M. Night Shyamalan's personal favorite movie that he's made, but one of Quentin Tarantino's all-time favorites as well. It's the 2000 movie Unbreakable. So let's get to it, because this is Redeye Reviews. We start with some slowly appearing text. Hey, comic book readers aren't used to a ton of words, so this is probably par for the course. Let's go ahead and spruce these facts up, maybe add a few pows and zaps.
What happened during the delivery?
Nothing.
So we start in Philadelphia, where we see a lady giving birth.
Did you drop this baby?
Okay, let's be honest. Every baby's been dropped just a little bit. You know, a little bit. Maybe not right out of the womb, but all babies have taken at least a short drop to the linoleum, at least one time.
His arms and his legs are broken.
But we cut away to the man of the hour. The man who's more irresistible than the skip intro button on Netflix.
Are you looking for any male synchronized swimmers? I'm afraid of water. I think that's a problem.
After chatting for a while with this lady, we notice the train is going way too fast. And everybody on the train has died except for one man.
Because you didn't break one bone, that you will officially be the only survivor of this train wreck.
And that man walks away without any injury. We meet his wife and his kid. We also learn his marriage is a bit rocky. However, our man works in security at a university.
I read about you in the paper. I was in an accident once too. Horse almost trampled me to death. Had him put down.
All right, this old lady is metal as hell. she just casually drops that she put a hit out on a horse. My God, don't piss her off. But he finds this letter that makes him realize that he's never been sick a day in his life. He goes and asks his wife about it, and she's like, I don't know. I mean, you eat a lot of Wheaties, and I've seen you do the occasional push-up. Maybe that's finally helping you out. Meanwhile, we see our broken baby has grown into a brittle boy. And he hates the outside world, but his mom forces him to go outside in order to get his gifts. Oh, snap. It's Action Comics. Wait. No, hold on. That says Active Comics. Yeah. Sorry, man. That's a knockoff. Just put it up on eBay. Just hope nobody notices. But he doesn't take my advice. We cut to modern day, and he's become obsessed with comics. This guy wants to buy some comic art for his child, and we let him have it.
No. Well, that's what you see at a toy store. Do you see any Teletubbies in here? Now, one of us has made a gross error.
Ask him if he looks like a biche. We also learn Elijah was the one who made David question his health. So they meet each other. He explains that comics can predict the future, and having survived that train crash and coming out unharmed is evidence that he's a real-life superhero. And what does Dave think of this theory?
Joseph, don't take another sip of that water. I'll throw it in the trash.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. But also, don't throw away water, sir. Putting liquid into a trash can sounds more like you're a villain, if you ask me. But he leaves the store. Sometime later, we run back into Mr. Glass at work.
Tall guy in a camouflage jacket. Sometimes people carry weapons in here.
But our man gets a bad feeling about somebody in line, and we see that man bug out and try to leave.
You thought he was carrying a knife?
Picture of a silver gun with a black grip.
To prove his point that David can actually sense danger, Mr. Glass follows him, and we come across our mortal enemy, stairs. Glass bones and stairs do not mix. But it was totally worth it because we see he was carrying a gun. So David was right. Back home, David's son wants to work out with his dad.
I don't need...
I can't play, guys! I'm working out with my dad!
Wants to work out but can't even give the man a proper spot. Come on, Junior, get in there. But he keeps tricking his dad into lifting more weight.
How much did you take off?
I lied.
You had it?
How much is it, Dad?
About 350 pounds.
And then the two of them realize that he might actually have the power of super strength. Meanwhile, we see Mr. Glass's power is shattering his body into 1,000 pieces. And he is the best at what he does.
Form of a spiral fracture. There were 14 breaks, as well as multiple fractures of the 6th, 7th, and 8th ribs.
But now David is starting to think that he might have powers. He realizes he can sense things people have done if he touches them. For instance, did you guys know M. Night Shyamalan was a drug dealer? It's ballsy. He even tries to sling drugs in his own movie. Does the man have no shame? Back home, his son wants to prove that his dad is invincible.
You don't believe? I'll show you. You can't get hurt. I'll show you.
All right, crazy story. So the guy who played Superman a long time ago, George Reeves, once actually had this happen to him when he was dressed as Superman. This kid pointed a gun thinking he'd be invincible, and he only got the kid to put the gun down by telling him that the bullet would just ricochet off him and could potentially hurt somebody else. And that is exactly what David tells his son in this scene to get him to drop the gun as well.
If you pull that trigger, that bullet is just going to bounce off me and I'm not going to be hurt. If you pull that trigger, I'm going to leave.
So after his kid almost kills him, he visits Mr. Glass. He's like, hey, please stop putting these ideas into my kid's head because he's going to start dropping pianos on me from skyscrapers. So Mr. Glass goes to a comic book store. He trolls the hell out of this teenager.
Shit! Man, I don't care if you are in a wheelchair. If you do that again, I'm calling 5-0.
Just cuz, you know, what are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it? So David thinks back to an old car accident he was in, and now he realizes that he also walked away from that unharmed too. So now he officially believes that he has superpowers. So our man goes out in public, he starts feeling his powers out.
Go back to Africa!
And his powers do heavily rely on people being rude and bumping into him in crowds. But he finds his first bad guy. And that bad guy's real Michael Myers-y. He's just walking around in the rain like he isn't afraid of getting sick. So we follow him into a house. We open a door, we see a dead guy, and we're like, yep, my bumping into people's power have found me a real bad guy. He even finds some tied up people. Honestly, this was a very successful first mission. but the baddie pushes him over a balcony. He lands on the top of a covered pool, where he partakes in number 1 on old Redeye's worst ways to die. Thank God he untied those kids, and they pull him out of the pool. So he runs back upstairs. He clings to this dude's neck like Yoda. It's just a little vigilante backpack. It's like, go to sleep you will. Big stupid dummy you are. The next day, our man slides the paper to his kid. He's like, hey, bro, you were right. I am Superman. But seriously, if you ever point a gun at me again, I'm gonna mess you up. I'm just kidding, pal. Okay, enjoy your OJ. Yeah. We go talk to Mr. Glass about our new superhero job, where he goes down a series of ramps without once going, whee! What's the point of being in a wheelchair if you don't go wee? But then we get our Night Shyamalan twist.
I think this is where we shake hands.
Passengers aren't allowed in there.
If there ever was a fire on floors 1, 2, or 3.
He caused all those horrible events. Yeah, he killed hundreds of people just hoping that someone would walk out unharmed and become a superhero. Bro, what if the first superhero was like Aquaman or something? Like all you did was filter out the other heroes until you found one with super strength? But I digress.
In a comic, you know how you can tell who the arch villain's going to be?
This movie is freaking incredible, but sadly, it is over. So let's head on over to Redeye Reacts. And this lady has the kind of belly button you just want to poke. And okay, I mean that in the most like childish, non-creepy way that I can. It just looks like a button, that's all.
We're moving too fast.
Oh my God, we totally are. We might beat the record run.
You guys probably don't understand that because you don't own a railroad, but it's actually a pretty huge deal.
To whom? Railroad owners?
Yeah, we're a pretty competitive bunch.
Dang. Hey, say what you want about somebody who collects newspaper clippings, but our man already clipped his own train crash? This journaling is punctual.
Do I need to put any smelly ointment on or anything?
No, it's more emotional damage.
Hey, I'll have you know that smelly ointments are great for emotional damage, okay? A little lavender, a bit of frankincense. That is it. Thank you so much. Again, if you can, please donate to the AFTD using the link on the page. I would love for us to reach our goal, and we are climbing ever closer to it. If you can't donate, you can subscribe. I will be personally donating for every new sub I earn this month. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you all so much. If you want the power to join my Patreon community, that link is down below. Discord down below. Merch store down below. I will see you next time, and until then, stay happy and stay healthy. And what does Dave think of this theory?
Joseph, don't take another sip of that water. I'll throw it in the trash.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.